I'm buying every colouring book from Amazon's top 100 list. The cute, the detailed, and the unexpected. There are some amazing colouring books here, but also some books that I'm not sure should be on this top 100 list. This is just 2 lines. This whole book is AI generated. This isn't even a colouring book. Is this whole Amazon top 100 thing just a scam? So why have I bought all these colouring books? First, because who doesn't want to collect all the colouring books, am I right? I want to see what's currently trending and what are the most popular books right now, and if they're good. Comfy and cozy, fluffy times, cuddly shop. I'm seeing a bit of a pattern here. These aren't really feeling like adult colouring books so far. But also there is another reason I am doing this. For many years now, Amazon has been one of the biggest marketplaces for people to buy colouring books. Not only do they have a huge range and competitive prices, but they also have a lot of independent colouring books, including many by artists who don't have the resources to print thousands of colouring books and compete with traditional publishing. This is thanks to Amazon's own print-on-demand book options. In fact, my first ever colouring book that I made was self-published back in 2016 with Amazon. Actually, my first 10 colouring books. The problem with books printed with this service is that the paper is really not good for colouring. It's actually a shame that a book like this, they haven't printed very well with the bleed, because I can see people really enjoying something like this. But it is an option that allows anyone to design their own colouring book. And that's both good and bad. But more on that later. Oh, this is more my style. This is actually by another YouTuber, Vex. I've been really curious about this book. The art looks really fun to colour. It reminds me a little bit of Kirby Rosanis, but a bit more cartoony. Cute and easy. I mean, they are pretty cute. Oh, look at the cat in the box. And the angry portrait. Mandala colouring book. There's a few books by Jade Summer in here, and Jade Summer is actually a group of artists, which is why they have a lot of variety and they're able to produce a lot. But they are a group of people that are actually very active in the colouring community, and I think actually kind of earned their place in the top 100. I stopped using Amazon to publish my colouring books a few years ago because I really didn't like the overall quality. And to be honest, I even stopped telling people about the books that I'd already made because I was embarrassed anytime someone told me that they had bought one. So in 2024, I finally decided to bring out a new colouring book. But instead of using Amazon's printing, I found my own manufacturer. I spent months creating something that I was truly proud of, and now it's finally ready. So as a part of this video, I want to figure out, should I sell this book on Amazon? Does it need to be on the top 100 bestseller list for it to even be worthwhile? And how hard is it to get on this list? There is a lot I want to figure out. And by the end of this video, I hope that we will have a much better understanding of how to get a book on Amazon, whether it's worthwhile, and if there are any secrets to getting on this top 100 list. So these are the top 100 best colouring books according to Amazon. When I was buying these, I noticed a number of books in these top 100 colouring books aren't even colouring books. For most of them in this category, I decided just not to buy them. This is already going to be expensive enough as is. But there were a few that I still thought were worth sharing. This isn't a colouring book at all. Although I can't see myself using these. Not to write ransom notes, okay? For mixed media, just in case that needed to be clarified. Wreck this journal. This is not a colouring book, but I really wanted to buy it anyway, because it does really appeal if you're someone who likes colouring. I actually think it's a really fun book that has inspired a whole nother trend of its own of art prompt books. So it deserves to be on this list, even though it's not really a colouring book. This is another one that isn't a colouring book. I didn't know what it was when I bought it. I thought it was a book of ideas. It ended up being a book of things that you cut out to use as collage, which they do make pretty clear because it's called Extraordinary Things to Cut Out in Collage. Whoa, this is hefty. Oh, wow. And detailed. Is it actually a colouring book though? It is. This is interesting. I wouldn't call this a colouring book, but I guess if you want to learn about anatomy, they're teaching you anatomy by colouring in. That's kind of cool. So from what I can find out online, it seems that the most important factor in getting onto Amazon's top 100 list is sales velocity. By this, I mean how consistently you're selling compared to other books. The algorithm seems to favor books that sell consistently in the first 30 days. Selling more at launch is better than having a slow start and building up later. And just like a website or Google listings, there are some details that you can include with your product listing that will help Amazon to find the right audience for it. Things like using keywords in your titles. That's why you see so many products cram all these words into their titles instead of just saying what the product is. Or you can even pay Amazon to promote your book with sponsored ads. Ideally, I'd like to not do that unless I really have to, but I'm curious as to how many of these books in the top 100 are there because of aggressive advertising. What surprised me so far is that I know of a lot of really good coloring book artists that don't seem to be on this list. So I'm curious to find out, is it that they just don't sell enough, or if maybe their books are older now and have fallen off this list, or is there more to this puzzle? Is it even worth the extra cost of selling on Amazon if I can't get on this list? Amazon is flooded with so many coloring books now, especially with how easy it is to create your own book. If you're using this print on demand option, the risks are low. At most, you've lost time. But if you printed the books yourself, you might be out thousands of dollars if they suddenly stop selling. Just from the cover, I suspect we might have our first AI coloring book here. It's just the little details like, are these leaves or what's going on here? There's like leaves that kind of disappear into nothing. It's these little artifacts that for me, give it away really quickly, but I am curious to have a closer look at this one a bit later. Cute London. Oh, and it is cute London. It's so cute. Oh, this looks like another cutesy one in a way. Oh dear. I knew sweary coloring books were still around. I don't think there's anything in this book that I can even show you. You succulent. That's the most polite one in the whole book so far. And another AI coloring book. Yeah, you can tell her buttons, they're just like little random squiggles. And then the style of faces is changing drastically. Oh, look at that. That's just cut off. Fuzzy Higi?
Hyuga.
Whoa, I was way off. Fuzzy Hyuga. Well, these are cute. See, I see why people would like to colour something like this. Sweet night, cozy nooks, cozy winter, fashion vibes, bold easy. It's time to take a closer look at this bold and easy trend because it seems like most of these top 100 books are in this style and at least half of them are from the same company. Adult colouring has been promoted as a great way to reduce stress ever since it first became popular. But somewhere along the line, companies misunderstood what it was about colouring that people enjoyed the most. And we ended up with a flood of books with excessive details and weird patterns in everything. Some of us took colouring to a much more artistic level, challenging ourselves to try different lighting, try different media, and turning simple lines into pieces of art. But for the person who just wants to colour and feel good about it, this adds a lot of pressure. What if you don't necessarily want to make a masterpiece? What if you don't want to learn color theory or advanced shading techniques? What if you just want to enjoy the process of coloring? That's where this new genre of bold and easy adult coloring books has filled a huge gap in the market. These aren't aimed at kids, but their thick lines and simple shapes are easy for anyone to color and still allow room to explore your creativity. I love that this is bringing in a new style of book to cater to people who aren't interested in something complex like The Art by Kirby Rosanes, or who don't want to have to learn skin tones to color something from Hannah Carlson. It is wonderful to see so many more people able to enjoy this art and to see more variety in what's available. In fact, I think this comment from Reddit captured it perfectly. A reason this particular style is really popular right now is because fuzzy cute little animals doing fuzzy cute wholesome little things is just what some souls need. Honestly, mood. Of all the trends I've seen come and go, this is not the trend I would have expected to take over the entire world of adult coloring books in the way that it has. TikTok seems to have played a huge part in this, and the impact on Amazon's top 100 is obvious. I've enjoyed coloring a few of these, and they are super quick and easy compared to anything else I've colored. I love seeing how people are getting creative with this, and I love that it's another thing making art more accessible for everyone. Soft girl era, simple and relaxing. Really? Torn leaves. I'm not confident, but I want to figure out if this is an AI book. Even just the little things like, this is a white background, but it clearly wasn't a white background. And I think if you're an artist who has drawn this with the intention of it being a grayscale coloring book, that would be white. It wouldn't be this slightly off gray that created this texture that's just completely unnecessary. That doesn't even match the rest of the book. Those two grapes actually join together, and this grape is magically growing out of the side of the other grape. Oh, see, that's AI. Oh, is the whole thing AI again? They've decided to try and bring in this style in all the skies, but it's obviously not built at the same time as the picture, so it just stops. I wouldn't be so annoyed by the AI if they weren't taking the top spots on Amazon away from real artists. Another cozy book. You know, I just realized my coloring book that I produced like 3-4 years ago, that was a Christmas book, was very similar to these. Where's my Christmas book? Yeah, here's mine. It's interesting because a few years ago when I made this, a lot of adults complained that it was more like a kid's coloring book and that it was too simple. And right now, it seems that most of the coloring books in the top 100 are exactly this. Really? Okay. I think I need to come back to this bold and easy trend. At a glance, these books all appear the same. They are square, they have bold lines, and they're all printed on Amazon's paper. All of them use the same keywords. Bold and easy, cute and easy, cute and comfy, cozy, fluffy, comfy and cozy, fluffy tied, cozy era, comfy pattern, cozy spaces. But there are two very different types of book I've found within this trend. There's the cute and fuzzy Hugie style, and there's the bold and easy style, even though they all say both things. What I'm calling the cute and fuzzy style are the books with characters and full scenes. Cute animals toasting marshmallows, a chicken doing laundry, or a pig having a bath. Some books have thicker lines and some are quite thin. Some books are hand-drawn and scanned in, while others are drawn digitally. Some have closed lines and shapes, and others are more stylized with gaps in the lines and no sharp corners. But there's one thing they all have in common: cute characters doing cute things. And then there's the bold and easy style. Some of these are like an extension to the fuzzy Hugie trend, but with thicker lines and fewer things to color. They are like a beginner step to some of the bigger scenes and are quite cute in their own right. But some of these feel like quick clip art slapped on a page. Some of these feel like a low quality book that someone has created in less than a day. And I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but it's disappointing to see a low effort book in Amazon's top 100 when there are so many amazing books available where the artists have poured hours and hours of work into their art. This comes back to a problem with Amazon's system itself. There's no easy way to differentiate between the products that someone has created out of a passion and a joy for creating and the products that have been created as a quick cash grab. And this is not just a coloring book problem, this is a humanity problem. It's the Temu versus small business debate, the AI versus human artist debate. And ultimately, it's up to us as the people buying these books to celebrate the artists and the small businesses with what we choose to buy. And that's incredibly hard when so many of these coloring books don't even really tell us who the artists are who drew them. Spooky vibes. Trippy art. Another cutesy book. Ooh, that's not a great cover. It's just that whatever they've designed this in is like really low quality and then they've tried to blow it up on a book. That's not great for a book you're selling. And then I'm not really sure what the point is of a color chart if you can't color it because it's on gray. I don't know that this is necessarily like AI. They might have drawn this stuff, but there's just a lot of little glitches and things that feel kind of sloppy. It would be nice to see artists put a bit more effort given that this is in our Amazon top 100. The back's worse than the front. My gut says this might be another AI. It is the really subtle stuff, but I just don't picture a human drawing with these kind of weird little mistakes that this has here. It looks pretty, and then it's like the closer you look, you start finding things that are wrong. And this would be the same. This looks like the same as that other one that I really didn't like. Yes. Oh, they fixed the swatches too. But the pictures are a mess. This is like they've taken 3 different sources of clip art and just shoved them together. Here it looks like they've taken this picture and then someone has drawn a gray line here because they didn't get the black settings the same. From what I can tell, I think they've taken an AI picture and tried to clean it up, but art is not their strong point. Am I allowed to say that? This doesn't immediately look AI to me, but there have been so many AI books that I'm finding myself skeptical of just certain looking art, and that's a problem in itself. There are a lot of real artists that make really beautiful work and spend months doing their drawings, and now they're being accused of using AI because people sort of know what to look for, but still don't really. With how easy it is to publish a colouring book on Amazon, it's not surprising to see a flood of new AI colouring books saturating the market. I am surprised to see them in the top 100 list. And whether it's fair or not, I'm a little disappointed in Amazon for this. Whether or not you agree with AI and how it's being used in the art world, I think every customer has the right to know whether the book they are buying was designed by a human or by AI. And most of the AI colouring books that seem to be successful on Amazon are not disclosing that they are made with AI. So many customers don't know until they buy the book and find low quality details like these. It's getting harder and harder to find the real artists among the crowd. And to make things worse, some real artists are being accused of using AI and are being cancelled over it. There are so many new authors suddenly showing up in the colouring book space with no previous history, no sketches, and nothing to show their art before the final book. I found many books among this that have been released so quickly that I just don't see how they could have been drawn by a single artist. And when I dig further, many of these artists don't have any existence online before about August last year. But this doesn't necessarily mean they're using AI. And even if they're using stock photos or other libraries that aren't their own art, they're not doing anything wrong. What this does mean is that the adult colouring niche has been flooded with low effort, low quality books, and artists are finding it harder and harder to compete with the people who've seen an opportunity to make some quick cash. And as someone new to this trend, I don't know which books came first. Even if I wanted to support the real artists, I don't know who they are. There is so much copying among these, and I don't know who is copying who. I've spent a few hours researching just the books I have here, and I'm finding it so hard to find the artists behind the majority of these books. And this has been the same problem even before this trend. It's not actually the fault of any of these artists or even the people who've jumped on this trend just because it's a trend. If we can blame anyone, I think we should blame Amazon. When an author uploads a book to Amazon, they must disclose whether their book content is AI generated. They did this after months of discussions with the Authors Guild about the need for safeguards against AI-generated books flooding the platform and displacing human authors, and to protect consumers from unwittingly purchasing AI-generated text. But what does Amazon do with this information? Apparently, Amazon will use this information to help shape policies around AI-generated content going forward, but has not yet agreed to add disclosures to any book listings for AI-generated books on its other channels. And this was over a year ago. Amazon still isn't telling the public. So unless the AI authors choose to be honest, it leaves it up to you to try and figure out who the real artists are. And this comes with huge risks of making false accusations. What you choose to colour is your own decision, but we should at least know whose art we are choosing to support, human or AI. So how can we know what's AI? Bad AI is easy to spot. Extra fingers, trees that are just a bunch of scribbles, objects weirdly merging into other objects, lines just disappearing into nothing, or words that aren't really words. But then there's a bunch of red flags that might be AI, or might not be. And I could film an entire video with all the information I found and the suggested things to look for, but there is no foolproof way to identify every AI book with 100% confidence. And it would be so unfair to make an accusation without being certain. Even the AI image detectors online get things wrong sometimes. And as AI gets better, we're just not gonna know. I know this is all probably disappointing, especially if you're an artist wanting to put your work out there. I like to think that somehow people will continue to choose human art even with the rise of AI, and that we will find a way for the real artists to shine through and to be able to celebrate them. Oh, here we go. Okay, this kind of book scares a lot of people off straight away because it's so detailed, but this is the kind of book I expected to find in the Amazon Top 100. You can see the effort put in. This is the kind of book that takes months to draw, not a weekend. This is a big book. Wow, these are small. This would take a long time, but I feel like I'd actually be up for the challenge. Satisfying patterns. I thought we'd already... There are 2 of them. This I don't get. Maybe I don't like these because it's something that I feel like is low effort. Like this might have only taken a few days to make, but from a relaxing perspective as a user, I can see the value in them. Whoops. Oh wow, this is a collection. This is a compilation from Sun Life, which tells me they actually have a lot of colouring books. And finally, we have a Johanna Basford. Johanna is the one who started the entire adult colouring trend, and she sold millions of copies of all of her books all around the world. So it is crazy to me that in the top 100 currently on Amazon, there are only 1 of her books and it's not even in the top 50. Which makes me wonder, what does it actually take to get on the Amazon top 100 list? I actually already sell my own books on Amazon, but I stopped telling people. I released my first colouring book almost 10 years ago now using Amazon's printing services, but I'm a little embarrassed by them now. My art has developed so much and the print quality isn't what I wanted to represent my brand. These are still available on Amazon, but I have considered pulling them down. I don't know, maybe I should give them another chance. A few years ago, I actually worked on 2 books with a publisher for the first time, and I thought it would be my big break, but it really wasn't. And ever since then, I've wanted to make another colouring book that I can actually be proud of. Something that represents my brand and is printed on beautiful paper and feels good to hold. Something I would want to colour. And I've done it. This is Vibrant Wilds. I talked about this last year and it's taken months to finally be ready to go to market. And I want to put this on Amazon. I get a lot of people asking about my other products being on Amazon, and instead I've only ever offered them on my website and tried to make the shipping more affordable. But for this book, I wanted to see how it would go on the Amazon marketplace, maybe even get it to the top 100 colouring books. But the more I look into Amazon, into the way they handle the shipping and the fees they charge sellers, I'm not sure I can even afford to put it on Amazon at all. We've already decided that we're not printing through Amazon, which means that we cover all those costs up front. The question then is, if we're not printing through Amazon, can we still sell on Amazon and not lose money?
We either send it to Amazon and they put it in their warehouse and they send it out on Amazon, but when somebody buys the book, we send it out. Or the third option is we just don't put it on Amazon, we have it on our website, and when somebody buys it off our website, we just fulfill it.
I'm thinking based on the fact that we're going for like a higher quality book, the cover and everything, I don't think we can sell this for $7. I don't think that's realistic. I think that we would just bleed money if we even try to compete with what's like the current market. So I think a really good price this book would be around $18 US.
Yeah.
If we get Amazon to do all the fulfillment, they have a referral fee, they have a fixed closing fee, they have a variable closing fee, and then they have fulfillment cost, and then the inbounding cost, and then the storage cost per book.
It's a lot of fees.
We would have to sell 6,000 books to even make a profit.
And what's the profit?
$150.
At that rate, you are getting 50 cents an hour.
50 cents an hour for my design work. So if we do the fulfillment, we can sell it on Amazon, but we don't have fulfillment costs, we don't have inbounding costs, we don't have the storage costs, but we do then have to add our own shipping costs. That overall probably is a lot of a cheaper option. What does that work out at?
We would have to sell twice as many as the first option in order to make a profit of minus $423.
What? So the reason that shipping's so high for us is because we're offering people free shipping, and so we cover that shipping to compete with Amazon's Prime, but Amazon can obviously ship stuff just way cheaper based on that.
Yes.
So can we even put it on Amazon?
I don't think that Amazon is worth it.
I
wanted Amazon to be worth it. For someone who's a individual creator or artist and not a publisher, it's not really viable.
Like if it was only slightly more expensive to go on Amazon, I'd say let's just give it a go because like great experiment. I really want to know, and everyone keeps asking to put it on Amazon, but I mean, looking at these numbers, it feels like putting it on Amazon would be a pretty silly idea. One big thing that we can do on our website that we would never be able to do on Amazon, we could say to people, buy the book and we'll give you the printable version as well. So it kind of makes it a little bit more worthwhile. So I feel like if there's one thing we've learned from this,
is if you want to make something better than what Amazon offers, you can't.
So maybe my own plan for my book isn't going to work as I hoped, but this whole process has opened my eyes up to a completely different adult coloring experience that I might have missed otherwise. I actually love that different trends are popping up and we're able to get more variety in the adult coloring books available. Coloring is such a great activity to help reduce stress, to build your creativity, and to explore new ways to create art without the pressure of starting from a blank canvas. It shouldn't be stressful, and it shouldn't be about comparing your work to others. So it's worth trying some of these different styles to find what really works for you. What brings you joy? What gets you excited to pull out your supplies? What challenges you in a good way? And maybe that's color by numbers, or coloring a Disney scene, or flowers in whimsical worlds, or a unicorn in a hammock. I've forgotten how to pronounce it already. Thanks, Amazon. More bold and easy. 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 Bold and easy. And then more bold and easy. Are you serious? Over half of the top 100 books on Amazon right now are bold and easy. I think it's time I figure this out. 64 out of the top 100 coloring books are cute or bold and easy books. And from them, 19 are from the same artist, Coco Wyo. So being new to this, I wanted to figure out if Coco Wyo started this whole trend. And as soon as I started looking into them, I found some theories and some controversies, but not a lot of actual answers. And it is somewhat impossible to figure out who created the first bold and easy book, but most people online give credit to Meg Miles Coloring and her TikTok videos as suddenly making these books popular again in 2024. It's the first time adult coloring has really made a comeback since it first became popular in 2015. It's also caused a huge spike in alcohol marker sales, with brands like Ohuhu struggling to keep up with the stock. But back to Coco Wyo. Coco Wyo isn't one person. It's a team of Vietnamese artists whose identities are a total mystery. They're able to produce a lot of books quickly and sell them at a low price to basically eliminate any competition. They've been called out online for allegedly copying ideas from other artists and being anti-competitive, especially when they tried to trademark common phrases like bold and easy coloring books to stop other artists using these. They've since removed the trademark applications, but there are still a lot of questions online about how they're producing so many books, with some being published only days apart, and whether or not they're copying ideas, they're able to sell their books at a much lower price than other independent artists. One thing is for sure, Coco Wyo have captured the market right now very successfully. They obviously know how to make the most of Amazon and social media, and they've just signed a 6-figure deal with Penguin Random House. So I don't think they'll be slowing down anytime soon. And the #1 colouring book on Amazon Australia right now, Coco Wyo. I didn't expect this video to go this way. The Amazon Top 100 wasn't what I expected. I don't see a way for the average indie artist to compete with companies like this who are able to dominate the market on Amazon. When you consider the mass of books from companies like Coco Wyo alongside the clip art and the AI books that can be generated in less than a day, maybe Amazon isn't the place for indie artists to get noticed. Maybe it's not where we should be looking for recommendations either. When it comes to my own new book, Vibrant Wilds, I'm not going to be selling this on Amazon, but it is available now on my website with a free shipping option available in the US, Australia, and the UK. You'll also get the extra printable version for free when you order, and this isn't available anywhere else. I'd love to be able to create a list of the best adult coloring book artists that everyone should know about. So I am going to do that. I will spend the next few months tracking down the best coloring books, and I'd love your suggestions too, so we can build our own top 100 coloring book list.